It was a crisp Saturday evening when Tori Roloff decided to treat herself to a well-deserved break. The hustle of daily life, the constant balancing act of family, work, and personal time had been overwhelming lately. But tonight, Tori was determined to unwind, reconnect with friends, and most importantly, enjoy herself. She had no agenda other than to have fun, and she was excited about what the evening had in store. The day had been a whirlwind, as most Saturdays were. Between chasing after her young kids, Jackson and Layla, and juggling her duties as a mother, Tori barely had time to think. But she had planned ahead. Weeks ago, she had set a date for a girls' night out with a few of her closest friends, and tonight, the moment had finally arrived. As the evening approached, Tori found herself standing in front of the mirror in her bedroom, running her fingers through her hair and gazing at her reflection. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. It wasn't that she hadn't been out before, but this was different. This was a night for her, a night where she could let go of the pressures and just enjoy herself, surrounded by the people who made her feel supported and loved. The dress she had chosen for the occasion was nothing short of stunning. It was a white lace dress, delicate and intricate in its design, with a modern twist that made it feel fresh and chic. The lace fabric clung to her figure in all the right ways, highlighting her natural beauty. The dress was a perfect balance of elegant and playful, with a feminine flair that seemed to fit her personality perfectly. It wasn't too flashy, but it was just enough to make a statement. Tori had always been a fan of classic styles, and this dress was a nod to her sophisticated side, while still allowing her to feel free and relaxed. The soft, intricate lacework reminded her of the quiet moments she spent enjoying life with her family, but the cut and fit of the dress represented the woman she was when she wasn't a mother or wife. Someone who deserved to have fun and feel beautiful in her own skin. As she slipped on the dress and adjusted her hair, she couldn't help but smile. She looked absolutely gorgeous. There was something about the way the dress made her feel, confident, radiant, and ready for whatever the night would bring. She applied a touch of makeup, choosing a natural yet bold look that accentuated her features. A swipe of mascara, a hint of blush, and a nude lip, and she was ready. When she heard the car horn honk outside, Tori knew her friends were here. It was time. As she grabbed her purse and stepped outside, the cold night air hit her, but she didn't mind. She was glowing, both inside and out. Her friends had been looking forward to this night just as much as she had, and the energy between them was electric as they greeted each other with hugs and laughter. The evening began with a celebratory toast at a cozy wine bar that was known for its intimate setting and delicious selection of wines. The group of women, Tori, her best friend Amanda, her cousin Rachel, and a few others, quickly settled into a booth by the window, where they could watch the world go by while catching up. There was something so special about these moments. The conversations flowed easily, filled with genuine laughter and shared stories. It felt like the kind of night that could last forever. Tori couldn't help but marvel at how amazing it felt to be surrounded by people who understood her, who had been with her through thick and thin. Amanda, always the life of the party, was cracking jokes and making everyone laugh, while Rachel offered thoughtful advice and stories about her own experiences as a mother. It was a perfect mix of fun and heartwarming conversation. For the first time in what felt as Tori stood there with her friends, her white lace dress swirling around her as she danced, she realized how much she had missed nights like this, nights where the only thing that mattered was being with the people who made her feel like herself. Her friends couldn't stop complimenting her on how gorgeous she looked in her dress. Tori wasn't used to receiving so many compliments, especially in a group setting, but she graciously accepted each one, feeling both proud and grateful. It wasn't just the dress, though. It was the confidence she had in herself, the self-assurance that came with knowing who she was and embracing it fully. As the evening drew to a close, the group of women left the rooftop bar and made their way down to the street, still chatting and laughing. The night had been everything Tori had hoped for, and more. Her heart felt full, her spirit light. She was reminded of the importance of taking time for herself, of connecting with the people who made her feel whole, and of celebrating the moments that reminded her of the joy that life had to offer. Before they said their goodbyes, the group took a final group photo, capturing the fun and carefree energy of the night. Tori smiled as she looked at the picture, knowing that these were the memories she would cherish. As they parted ways, Tori felt a deep sense of gratitude. Not only had she enjoyed a fun night out, but she had also reaffirmed the importance of balancing her responsibilities with moments of joy, connection, and self-care. The drive home was peaceful. The night air had a calming effect, and Tori felt at ease as she made her way back to her family. She was excited to see Zach and the kids, but she also felt recharged. The night had given her the space she needed to remember who she was beyond her roles as a mother and wife. It was a beautiful reminder that it was okay to take time for herself, to embrace the woman she had become, and to revel in moments of joy. When she walked through the door, Zach greeted her with a warm smile. "How was your night?" he asked, his eyes full of curiosity and love. "It was perfect," Tori said, her face lighting up as she thought back on the evening. "I had so much fun, and it was so nice to be surrounded by my friends. I needed this." Zach hugged her tightly, understanding exactly what she meant. He had always been supportive of her need for self-care, and he was proud of her for taking the time to invest in herself. "I'm glad you had a great time," he said, his voice sincere. "You deserve it." Tori smiled, feeling the warmth of his words. She was grateful for the love and support of her family, but she was also grateful for the opportunity to reconnect with herself. As she settled into bed that night, she reflected on the evening, knowing that the memories she had created with her friends would carry her through the busy weeks ahead. And as she drifted off to sleep, Tori felt a sense of peace, knowing that while she was a mother, a wife, and a daughter, she was also a woman deserving of joy, beauty, and connection. The white lace dress was more than just an outfit. It was a symbol of the woman she was: strong, confident, and ready to take on whatever life had in store. Zach Roloff, one of the central figures on Little People, Big World, has been a part of the Roloff family's journey for many years. The show has chronicled the lives of the Roloff family, focusing particularly on Matt and Amy Roloff, who have dwarfism, and their children, including Zach, who also lives with the condition. Through the ups and downs of their family dynamics, Zach has grown up on camera, allowing fans to witness his struggles, triumphs, and the way he navigates the complexities of his life. For many, Zach's life is an inspiration. He's a father, a husband, and someone who's worked hard to build a family and life that he can be proud of. However, like many of us, Zach is also faced with the unavoidable reality of mortality. This topic has been at the forefront of his mind for some time now, especially considering his role as a father to two young children, Jackson and Layla. The thought of his children growing up without him is something that weighs heavily on him, and in many ways, it's a reflection of the deeper struggles that he, like all parents, must face. Zach has always been open about his vulnerability, particularly regarding his health. As someone living with achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism, Zach has had to navigate a world that often sees him as different. It's not just the physical challenges he faces, but the emotional and psychological ones as well. The understanding that life is finite can be a tough pill to swallow, especially when you have children who depend on you, look up to you, and need you to be present. In one particularly emotional moment, Zach confronts the super sad prospect of Tori, his wife, having to explain his death to their children. For Zach, the idea of his kids not fully understanding why their father is no longer around, or how to explain such an abstract concept to young minds, is a source of immense anxiety. It's not just about the logistics of death, but the emotional ramifications of it. How do you explain to a child that their father is gone? How do you frame something so permanent, so final, in a way that doesn't break their hearts forever? The challenge of explaining death to children is one that many parents face, regardless of their circumstances. But for Zach and Tori, there's an added layer of complexity. Zach is well aware that his condition could lead to complications that might shorten his life. This looming possibility casts a shadow over every decision, every moment, and every interaction. How do you live with that weight on your shoulders and still be the father you want to be? How do you plan for the future when the future feels uncertain? For Tori, the thought of being the one to break such devastating news to their children is equally heartbreaking. She has always been a supportive and loving mother, and the prospect of facing a situation where she has to comfort their children while grieving the loss of her husband is overwhelming. It's a situation no parent wants to imagine, yet one that many must face. Tori has always been Zach's emotional anchor, providing him with the love and support he needs as they navigate their lives together. But the idea of losing Zach and having to carry on without him, is something that feels unbearable. The role of a mother, in times like these, takes on an even deeper significance. Not only does Tori have to be there for her children, but she also has to find a way to hold herself together in the face of unimaginable grief. The prospect of explaining death to their children is fraught with emotion. What do you say? How do you protect your children from the pain of the world while also helping them understand it? Children, especially young ones like Jackson and Layla, have an innocent view of the world. They don't yet fully grasp the permanence of death, the finality of it. For them, the world revolves around their parents, and the idea of their parents not being there can be incomprehensible. Zach, as a father, is acutely aware of this. He doesn't want his children to grow up feeling the absence of a father who wasn't able to be there for them in their most formative years. He wants to be there for their milestones, their accomplishments, and their struggles. But the reality is that no one can predict the future. Life is fragile, and sometimes even the best laid plans are upended by circumstances beyond our control. This uncertainty is what haunts Zach and what he fears most. Not that his children will be abandoned, but that they will have to endure the pain of loss at such a young age. And for Tori, the weight of that responsibility, of having to explain such an immense concept to their children, is something that she too finds deeply distressing. In many ways, the fear of death is not just about the individual who is facing it, but about those left behind. It's about how those who love you will continue without you, how they will navigate the world without your presence. This is where Zach and Tori's strength lies. They have each other, and they have their children. They are a family, bound together by love and resilience. But even with this bond, the fear of loss remains an ever-present shadow. In moments of reflection, Zach often expresses gratitude for the life he has been able to build, despite the challenges he has faced. He's found love, he's become a father, and he's built a sense of purpose through his work and his family. Yet, the looming knowledge that his time with his children could be cut short is a reality he cannot ignore. This uncertainty is what drives many of his conversations with Tori, as they discuss how they would want to handle such a situation should it arise. One thing that both Zach and Tori understand is the importance of preparation. While no one can ever truly be prepared for the loss of a loved one, there are ways to mitigate the emotional impact on children. The key is open communication, honesty, and age-appropriate explanations. It's about reassuring children that even though death is permanent, the love they share with their parent will never fade. This is a lesson that many parents, particularly those who face illness or other life-threatening conditions, must impart to their children. It's about helping them understand that, even in the face of loss, love endures. The conversation around death, while deeply emotional, also brings with it an opportunity for connection. It's a time to reflect on the moments that matter most, those that create lasting memories. Zach and Tori's willingness to confront the possibility of death head-on, even in such a painful context, is a testament to their strength as individuals and as a couple. They are not shying away from the reality of life's fragility, but are instead facing it with courage, love, and hope for their children's future. As difficult as the thought of explaining death to their children may be, there is also a sense of peace in knowing that, whatever happens, their children will always have the love of their parents. It's this love that will sustain them, even in the face of grief and loss. For Zach and Tori, the most important thing is not what they can do for their children in the moment of loss, but how they can instill in them a sense of resilience, love, and understanding that will carry them through the toughest times. The prospect of death may be super sad, as Zach describes it, but it also serves as a reminder of the preciousness of life. Every moment spent with family, every hug, every laugh, every conversation becomes that much more meaningful when we recognize how fleeting life can be. For Zach and Tori, the focus is not on the fear of what may come, but on cherishing the time they have together, building a legacy of love and understanding that will endure, no matter what the future holds.